cat grins. Can you hear us? Okay. Look at all the people who are joining in.
Oh.
Okay.
Now I'm nervous.
I want to make sure. Will somebody please let us know that you can hear us? Okay, hold on. I got to adjust the volume here. Sorry about the big image of my hand. Hey, can somebody tell us if you're hearing us? Somebody, hello. Hey, great, excellent.
I can hear you.
Yeah, okay, great. Danny can hear. All right, so I'm Midori, and you are?
Danny.
Of?
LeatherByDanny.
Okay, LeatherByDanny.com. I'm Midori, sexuality educator and artist, and some of you already know me from social media. Hello. And we are here after, what's the event we were just at?
RopeCraft.
RopeCraft.
Yes.
RopeCraft. Awesome event. Fabulous event. We are in Austin. Yay, cheers. Yes, as you can tell from the tasteful yet incredibly bland background, we're in my hotel room. Ooh, you're in my hotel room.
I was in earlier, but I didn't tell you.
Yeah. And I was in your hotel room earlier. Okay, imagine whatever you want to. Okay, imagine whatever you want to. Anyhow, RopeCraft is this amazing event. It's a first event of RopeCraft, and it's a rope bondage BDSM education event. We are in Austin, and oh, if you see hearts over here, by the way, hey everyone, he's a Periscope virgin. He has never done anything. Be gentle.
Not that gentle.
Okay, be rough.
Not that rough. What does a heart? Oh, what does a heart mean?
Okay, so people tap on the screen when they like what we're doing.
Ruh-roh.
Isn't that nice?
That's very sweet. Nice. Thank you.
Well, yeah. So we've been hanging out. We had dinner. We went and hung out at the play party. And then we went back to your room and we had some drinks and we were sitting around reminiscing because we know each other for a long time.
Almost 20 years?
20 years, really?
I'm not that old, so it can't be. No, I am that old, but she isn't, so it can't be that long.
We've known each other forever, a long time, like 20 years. You're based in Boston,
Massachusetts.
And I'm based in San Francisco. And I started coming to Boston for Kim Air's grand opening. Is that how we met? How did we meet?
I don't know. Yes, you came out to, you were at teaching for the Fetish Fair Flea Market.
Was that it?
It could have been the Fetish Fair Flea Market.
Okay.
And I think you, yes, we were putting you up in different board members were putting you up in letting you crash at their house, and you stayed at my place.
Right. Okay. So like 20 years ago at the Fetish Fair Flea Market, which is a fabulous event that only continues to get better and better and better. Not all events keep getting better, but this one keeps getting better because of the quality of the people and the decisions they've made. I think it's a great event. So yeah, and this is how I stayed with you and at your old loft, the secret loft that everybody knew about, where awesome parties happened. Yeah, in Somerville.
Yes.
Yes. It's no longer there. Don't go looking for it. It's a thing of legends now. So if you...
All gone.
Yeah? Really? Oh, is it gone? Gone?
Yeah, well,
the building?
No, the building's still there, and other people live there now, but it's no longer, well, not my kinky sex place. I'm not sure what they're doing there now, because interesting people moved into that space, but that's a different story.
I still have keys to the loft. Oh my God, who the hell is this?
You still
Jen Divine.
Oh my God, Jen Divine?
Yeah.
Oh God, I went to Kink of the Caribbean with oh God, yes, Jen. Hi.
You still have keys to the loft. I'm really glad you have keys to the loft because that's great. That's like a beginning of a science fiction fantasy, isn't it? You have a key to a time and space, a temporal space that no longer exists, but you have the key.
The story about that is my landlord kept saying, when I moved in, promised me that he was going to put a buzzer system in because I was on the 3rd floor and you couldn't get up into the building because the door locked, and he wouldn't for a year. And finally I said, screw it. I went and had 300 keys made to the front door of the building
And you didn't give me one?
You always had a key. And I basically I numbered them, and I gave them to all the people that
Oh my
were
God, so it's like a
my
collector's
parties.
item.
Yeah, and
Do
they
you
all had
have
number.
any?
I don't know if I have any more.
Wow.
Jen may have one of the few
Jen,
keys.
you have a piece of kink history. Save it.
Jen, you know who was also? You know who else was at this event was Monique, who photographer, good friend of yours.
Was she taking photos this weekend?
She was one of the photographers, and
she had like.
Yeah, she had the mohawk.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was here.
Wow. See, you never know who you run into.
That is bizarre.
What was that? Oh, my sweet ex. Love her.
Wow, this is very interesting time for the first Periscope. Wow,
so cool.
That is fun.
Well, a bit of history.
I did not think that I would run into someone I knew on
a red. I made him Periscope. I forced him into having his cocktail and Periscope. I am forcibly making you Periscope.
You can't see, but I'm actually really all tied up right now.
Yeah. By squids and octopus.
Actually, it's just her force of personality, which is pretty powerful. So this is fun. I didn't realize it was interactive. I thought it was just. I thought it was another Twitter with you just
interact.
Do it and people watch.
Prove to him. Say something. Prove to him that he's actually like we're being interactive because he doesn't know how Periscope works.
I'm seeing hearts. That's a good thing.
Yeah, right.
But that's because they like you.
Midori, we just hung out at Caroline's. Oh, right, yeah. Okay. Oh, Jan. Okay, wait. Are you the person who lives down the hill from me? Oh.
Who is it?
Okay, she lives in my neighborhood.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, she has this awesome. Yeah, she has this awesome house down the hill. We live in the same neighborhood. Small fucking world. No kidding. Yeah. She lives down the hill from me.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh my God.
This is fun.
This is awesome.
This is fun.
Usually I don't get this much interaction. Honestly, it's, you know what I often do? I'll if I go to the beach, I'll set this up and I'll let people watch the beach of California. I'll just sit there and I'll broadcast the beach for half an hour. It's amazing. People love it.
Okay.
Because they're sitting at work and they get to watch.
Wishing they were at the beach in California.
Right, yeah. So it's kind of sadistic, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your loft, your old loft, since Jim brought it up, oh my God, tell the people out there about your loft. What part of you is tied up? Show and tell, Danny.
She has a way of making me do whatever she wants, so I'm not really sure if rope is necessary. I'm told she's very good with rope, though.
No, I know nothing.
You know nothing.
I know nothing. Duct tape.
She's a twoo.
I am a twoo wool bondage master.
Rope top, yes.
Master. A nawashi. It rhymes with tawashi, which is a pot scrubber.
I take your word for it. I'm just going to start calling you Sensei Midori. Nah.
No.
That's not going to work.
No.
No, my loft, for about 13 years, I had, it was almost 4,000 square foot loft in almost downtown Boston, and I would.
Back then, it was no man's land.
Oh yeah, it was completely a building that was falling apart, kind of warehouse. No one was allowed to live there. It wasn't condemned, but it wasn't much more than that. And I fixed it up, and we had parties there. I was the local. Oops.
Keep talking.
I was,
I'm going to get the power cord. He can keep talking.
I had parties about once a month, and
What kind of parties?
they were BDSM parties.
What does
People
that
did
mean,
funny.
Danny?
That meant that people tied people up. They beat people. They had fun. They had.
They had.
They actually had sex sometimes.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Shocking.
What I like to say is back then it was my role in the Boston BDSM community to help other people live out my fantasies, and it was a lot of fun.
You're talking, Danny, because I can't seem to find.
Oh, I'm being told to keep talking.
I had to go find the power cord.
We have a power cord now.
Oh, turn you up.
Ah,
Okay, no. I'm just.
it's a power cord. Yes, plugging in. Mm-hmm. Nose hairs. That'll do it. Can it go? Would it be weird if I started talking about my kid right now? Okay. So I went to a place.
This man has actually reproduced.
Yes. There is no ban on that yet, but I ended up picking up something for my son, who at the time was 3.5. It was a tin of temporary tattoos for bald men. They were temporary tattoos of flies, USB ports, plugs, toupees, all sorts of 8 balls. Remember the magic 8 ball?
Yeah.
A magic 8 ball. You could put a temporary tattoo in your head.
Oh my God.
And I got them for him for his birthday, and said he could pick what he wanted to put on my head. Well, one of the things they had was a little outlet, like you would plug into a wall, and we decided to fix the energy crisis, and we put this temporary tattoo of a wall outlet on my 3-year-old's stomach. Because if you really want to fix the energy crisis, just plug something into a 3-year-old. Because oh my God, the
infinite energy of a
energy.
3-year-old.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. And he started running around saying, "I'm the solution to the energy crisis." Crisis. And he would go, and pull up his shirt and show this tattoo, temporary tattoo.
When a 3-year-old says that they are the solution to the energy crisis at a really meta level, he's right. Because may he be part of the generation that grows up and fixes all that the parents and grandparents and great-grandparents have really wrecked on this planet. Mm-hmm. So,
he was actually,
on that serious note.
He was actually...
That was like an NPR moment,
yes.
Wasn't it? It was very NPR.
My 5-year-old, he's now 5, was actually quoted in the Boston Globe 2 days ago.
What?
Yes, he was at an event. They interviewed the kids about presidents, and they're mostly older than him, but they interviewed him, and they asked he could name almost 2 presidents. He named Barack Obama and Martin Luther King as presidents of the United States.
Oh,
and when asked what they should, yes, and when asked what advice he has for the future presidents, he said they should protect people and be nice. That is his advice to the next president.
A lot of candidates right now,
yes,
doesn't
pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about politics. That's not fun.
No.
Not fun at all.
No, but let's talk back to the Loft.
Oh, okay, the Loft.
Yeah. So you had parties, but you also had a workshop there.
Yes, that was where I was making most of the leather toys that I make.
So he is
suspenders
sporting
as well.
Guy. Oh, wait.
I didn't realize I
still have your name tag on from the event.
I've been vending. Yeah, I got my name tag, and I'm also wearing my. Yeah, thank you. My LV shirt.
Oh wait, sorry. I'm trying to take this off. I really am.
And I believe you. Really, I do.
I'm just getting stuck.
Please stop with the hearts. You're only encouraging her. A wet willy? Really?
Yeah.
Really, a wet willy?
I'm very serious.
Yes. Very seriously demented.
Yes. Wait, what is this thing on
my
your
headset?
neck?
I'll take that off.
I thought you were a cyborg. Oh, no, that's me. Sorry, cyborg. I am a cyborg.
No, you're the cyborg. Me. I'm the guy.
The hearts are encouraging us,
I'm the guy with a smartphone, but a dumb operator.
Oh! So, okay, so you had a workshop where you make...
Restraints, collars, paddles, all sorts of fun things.
By the way, your leather belt restraints, I should have gotten some more of that. But I use them in my Forte FM Women's Dominance Weekend. And you custom made a bunch of paddles for me. And the women still learn how to use that. Your bondage belt system is absolutely ingenious.
Thank you.
And, all right, so I'm going to close his ears right now, because what you need to understand is this man makes some of the most top quality leather bondage gear, but he's stupid. Why is he stupid? Because he doesn't charge enough for the quality of the work. I mean, look, the finished edge that is completely tucked in. There's not a single rough edge there that is stitched, and it lasts so well, and it's done so well. And you do this like laser printing. He doesn't charge enough. So his pricing, he's really cheap.
Can I tell you some of the bad quotes?
You used to make leather cuffs just so we could come to your parties for free. We used to make leather cuffs. Okay. How do we cash in on? No,
one of my leather elves. Yes.
Yeah, he still doesn't charge enough. So, old Danny Dollar.
They're called Danny Dollars. Yes, my leather elves would come in and help and work for me, and they'd earn Danny Dollars that they could spend for either buying my products or paying for parties, or in some cases sexual favors, but it's a whole different story. That's a case-by-case basis.
So he never charges enough for his amazing goods, and you should buy his stuff before he actually starts listening to me.
It'll happen, don't worry. And if you have Danny Dollars, you need to cash in, email me. I still have all the books, believe it or not, even the old handwritten ones. It's not a problem.
Okay. Yeah, the workshop was great. And that's where I met Smudge, and I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, stuff's gorgeous. So, Jen, do you remember Smudge? Let's see. Takes a moment for, yeah, because they have to write.
Smudge was one of my cats. At the time I had 5, and Smudge is the last one left. And Smudge is now 20 years old.
Wow.
Yep.
And why is he called Smudge?
You
still do the thing?
Well, when he was a kitten, he was all white, but he had a little smudge on his forehead, almost like someone taken down the Ash Wednesday thing on him.
Neither of us are Christian enough, eh?
Yeah, not enough. But he had a habit of jumping into my lap when I was using the dye booth, and so to get him off one time, I tried to spray him in the forehead.
The sucky bed.
I tried to. I hit him with a dye with my airbrush, and I put leather dye. Gave him a mohawk.
Yeah.
And the first one was purple, which he liked. We did some green one time. We did blue. Electric. The red was not a good thing. People called him a tampon. We weren't happy with that one, so we didn't do the red again. But he would have to get dressed up for every part. I'm sorry, it's true. He'd have to get dressed up for every party. And the parties were for the cats. They really decided that they would go to the parties. And
I had some great times at your parties. Yes. My God, yeah.
I just remember one time Smudge stole your rabbit flogger, your rabbit tail flogger.
Tell him about that. It's really funny.
She's in high heels, a pencil latex skirt, and she's running down the hallway saying, "Smudge, come back, Smudge!" And Smudge is dragging this flogger that's 3 times bigger than him down the hallway just ahead of her.
And I'm in a pencil skirt, so I'm barely like...
And I thought she was going to fall down, but she didn't. So...
I still bought them to cats.
Yes. Well, my cats have done for some other famous people. Boy Meat from New York.
Oh, yay, Boy Meat.
Yes, Ginger did water sports with him.
What? Excuse me?
He crashed at our place. A bunch of people spent the night and stuff like that, and she was not happy where he was sleeping, and apparently she went and peed on him. Not on his clothes, on him. Bob, do you remember Bob Deegan?
Oh, yeah.
Bob Deegan was a very famous, very much into a very floaty style of single tails and stuff.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yes, and very much everyone has to watch him. Everyone has to watch him. He's
gorgeous.
And he did Willow as a kitten. He goes back. Willow pounced on it, and then he tries to throw the single tail with an
Willow is a cat.
with a probably a 6-pound cat attached now, and he fell and was like, "What?" And of course, the whole room loved it, and so he couldn't get that upset because it's a cute kitten attached to his single tail that was not going where it should. Yes, they.
Yeah. Oh my God, man! I loved staying at your place. That was so cool. Thank you so much. I met so many cool people there. I have love for Boston, Cambridge area thanks to you, Cecilia, and Corwin. Yeah,
and Kim when she was there.
Yeah, man, Kim was awesome. Now, let me tell you, Kim really straightened up my head about my business.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. So, it was my earlier days of being a professional presenter. Mm-hmm. And I didn't...
Talk about presenting. She was, wow. She has her...
Oh, she has the art.
She doesn't walk down the street without promoting herself or her company or whoever she's involved with.
Right, and she is such an amazing art of gab and art of connecting. And funny, I learned so much from her, right? Mm-hmm. But in the earlier days of my teaching, I took a chance at teaching, and it's not something that's been in the past recognized or even valued by the kink culture in terms of for-profit educator, right? In fact, quite the opposite. I would get told, "How dare you? It's not authentic. It's not true. It's not for the good of the community." And so I got told, in a lot of ways, be a good girl, shut up and do things as it's always been done. So when you think about it, that's essentially just bowing to how things have been and bowing to the patriarchy in a lot of ways. Where Kim, who's the founder and opened grand opening, sat me down, pointed her finger at me, and Kim would.
She does that.
Yeah,
she likes to do that.
Yeah, and when she's serious, she points her finger.
When I'm pointing my finger at you, it means I'm serious. That's
right.
one of her lines.
Right. So she pointed her finger at me. Okay, let's see, where's my camera? There it is. Pointed the finger at me, like that, and told me that what I was teaching was worth, there was a value to my teaching, and that I should never, ever discount myself. So, yay. And let me tell you, it took another woman to tell me that I got to earn a living. So, yay to Kim, who's still out there fighting the good battle.
Mm-hmm. Saw her last month in Vegas.
Right.
Yes.
And I saw her at the Flea.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she was at
the Flea.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's such a huge event. What, they had 3,500, 4,000 people?
I don't know. I was at Dark Odyssey.
Oh, you were?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
My company was at both, but I had to,
I saw your booth.
I had two booths, yes. I had two booths, one booth in Rhode Island, one booth in D.C.
God, I kept wondering if I'd see you. Oh, duh.
Did you?
Okay, yeah. Oh, no, Kim was at the Fetish Fair Flea Market, which is a great event, by the way.
Working for Purple Passion, working his booth. Hilton from Purple Passion, great store in New York City.
Oh, yeah, awesome.
They sell great stuff, including my stuff, but that's just,
Purple Passion's fantastic, and Purple Passion's one of the local sponsors for Forte Femme.
Okay.
So the New York local sponsor, Purple Passion, and San Francisco local sponsor is Mr. S. And my grand sponsor is the Pleasure Chest, and silver sponsor is the Stockroom, and Twisted Monk.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have an amazing lineup of people helping me out. Yeah. But we were talking beforehand about how you accidentally got into this business.
I'll tell the story. I'm not sure I'm not convinced it's as entertaining as she
Keep
thinks
those
it is.
hearts coming, and he'll tell you stories.
But it's one of those things that I'm not really sure how I feel spiritually about if there's a higher power or whatever. But in the court, when I was in my early 20s, in the space of like 2 weeks, I had like 3 things happen that were kind of. Well, thank you.
See all the hearts. Yes. They like the stories.
One of the first things that happened was my father sent me a box of tools because they were getting ready to move, and one of them was a box of leather tools that were from his father, and nothing fancy, just some hole punches and things like that. And then I'm at a friend's house, and they had these wooden boxes they were making into shelves. I'm like, those are really cool. Where'd you get them? They're like, oh, this building went out of business. Everything's being torn out and thrown into this dumpster in the back. It's on your way home. Go stop by. You can grab a box. And I get there, and it's this great big, it's one of those 10-foot or 8-foot by 20-foot construction, and it's overflowing. And I start getting these boxes, and I suddenly realize it's a cobbler shop that went out, that the owner died, I guess, and everything in the building was thrown into it. In Quincy, Massachusetts.
Wow, that's very New England. This big shoe industry, right? That kind of went bust.
I found 3 sewing machines, one of which I still use now, that were thrown out. Cases of brand new shoe polish, didn't need that, but like lots and lots of crazy things. I kick myself because if I had known, there were probably 200 or 300 something called lasts. You know what a last is?
Yeah.
The wooden to do the actual shoes.
Yeah.
I grabbed like only 2 or 3. If I had known what they were worth, apparently they go for $30 or $40 each.
Yeah.
Mostly to be in a restaurant on the shelf or something like that.
Yeah, display items or vintage, antique tchotchke.
But I got that sewing machine, which I still use today, and
That's amazing.
And then I was on my way back to a LARP. Yes, I used to LARP. That's called live action role playing. That's Dungeons and Dragons out in the woods years ago. And I was driving back to the event because I had to work the night before, and I'm all in my costume, which is this like Ren Fair costume kind of thing. And I like garage sales.
What kind of Ren Fair character were you?
I was a rogue.
Okay.
Basically a thief. Anyhow, there's a garage sale.
How would you know the difference from your everyday?
So I pull over and I walk into this garage sale just real quick to look at what's there, and I start to walk out. And I see, there's a couple garbage bags, and the 2 garbage bags, they each have like $5 written on them. And I open one up, and it's filled with garment leather scraps, different sizes. And I'm like, and I just found this other sewing machine a couple of days before, and I didn't have a place to get leather. I'm like, this is perfect. And I scared the hell out of this one woman because I'm looking at it, realizing that this whole garbage bag is filled with leather scraps, and there's another one right there. And this woman started to reach for it, and I went, mine! And just jumped and grabbed it, and this weird guy in this whole Ren Fair outfit said, ah! And I said, how much? And I had no idea what leather cost, and in some ways I feel bad about this because whatever. I'm like,
She's clearing out a garage.
Well, it was a multi-family thing, and this person was like, I don't know, what does it say? I'm like, well, it says here $5 on the back. Okay, well, that's $10, so I paid him $10. In hindsight, I'm sure what they meant was $5 per scrap of leather in the bag.
They might have meant the bag.
They might have. I don't know.
I
didn't realize it. I didn't realize until months later that I'm like, wow. This is probably a really good deal that I got. And maybe it was that somebody wanted more. And if you're out there, I apologize, but thank you. It really helped get me started. The first time I was using...
put you in this pickle.
Put me... Yeah, that's a better way to put it. But, that was how I started making leather gear. I was in college. I couldn't really afford to buy what turns out to be the junk they had in the stores back then, but I didn't know any better. And then I was making it, and then people were buying it out of my toy bag. And
it's
I had to
funny.
make more.
I got started in rope bondage at a practical level because I couldn't afford any of the fancy toys.
Couldn't afford to buy leather.
So I just figured I'm good at fiber crafts. I can figure it out. And, things I saw on Japanese public imagery. Somebody else just joined. Hello, whoever that just joined. Yeah, and see all those hearts?
Does it say
They love your stories.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is that saying how many people are there? 4 people? Okay.
Yeah. A lot more people see it afterwards because there's a replay option.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So there's 4 of you joining us right now, and we really appreciate you because I'm not quite ready to go to sleep yet. Tomorrow morning I have to fly back home, and then I have a lot of work. So, yeah. Okay, so that's how you started making things. What were some of the first things you made?
The very first thing I made is something I've never made since, or not produced, which was bondage mittens.
Supple cats. 37.
Join. Oh, okay. Just yeah. I made a pair of mittens, and then I made a pair of cuffs and a collar.
When you say mittens, you might want to specify.
Bondage mittens. It was basically a cuff that would go over the hand, so you couldn't use your fingers. And it was because I had this really nice soft garment leather in gray that I had found at this garage sale.
Wow.
That was fun. Yeah, it was a shock for me when I went in. I needed to buy leather to make stuff, and I'm like, oh, leather's it's $4 per square foot. I'm like, that's great. I only need 3 square feet. And you walk in the store to buy. I want 3. You don't know. They don't cut it, and the hide's 30 square feet. So that's 30 times $4. I'm like, I can't afford that. Poor college student.
Yeah.
So I started buying leather by the hide, and then years later I'm buying it by the skid. But
what's a skid?
I'm pallet, like lots of 20, 30 hides at a time.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yes. I'm not exactly where I pictured myself being, 20, 30 years ago. I'm happy with it, but it's not where I anticipated.
I kind of accidentally ended up in my career. I didn't expect to be a sexuality educator. The artist part, I actually in high school, even as a child, I was like, I remember the first job I wanted. God, this just speaks to how like fiscally stupid I am. I wanted to be a poet.
Because they make lots of money.
Yeah, it didn't occur to me because my mom's a college professor in the humanities. Of course, I have no concept in this. I wanted to be a poet, and I suppose in a lot of ways, I speak. Mm-hmm. I use words as a way by which the poetry, I suppose, that I do is my speaking and teaching. In high school, briefly, I thought about going to art school after high school, but I didn't because I didn't think I had the talent. I guess I thought that because I was already doing what I realize now would be like abstract work, and I didn't have enough quite understanding of the work I was doing. And in high school, it was figurative work that was being validated.
Okay.
So I never went to art school. So in a lot of ways, that's actually a good thing. I'm now currently I have artwork in show at a show called MFA Never. Master of Fine Arts Never, of artists who never showed. And I'm also in a show called What Is Was, around dealing with memory, and that one actually might go on the road. And that one was curated by Anna Noel Rockwell, if you know that name. And Anna used to model for Eric Kroll.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, back in the day.
Wow.
Small world.
Small world.
Yeah. Anyhow, I didn't think I got to be an artist. I still haven't figured out how to make a living as an artist. I'm actually seriously thinking about a Patreon so I can keep producing my artwork, because I keep making large installation, really institution scale artwork. It's not really stuff you can buy and hang on your wall.
No, not when it is a wall.
Right. When it's an entire room. Mm-hmm. So anyhow, I find myself being an artist. It took me several years to be comfortable to say I'm an artist. That statement is actually really hard for a lot of us. And I own it now. I'm also a sexuality educator, and I got into that professionally, not what I planned. I don't know what I had planned. I was, had a degree in psych and had no idea what I was good at. And along the way, I started doing volunteer work for San Francisco Sex Information. Mm-hmm. And doing peer-to-peer outreach. Turns out I'm good at public speaking about sex. I had no idea. I didn't even know I was good at public speaking. I didn't know this. I had no opportunity. Never occurred to me to do any public speaking. So the U.S. Army trained me to give briefings. I still use flip charts like nobody's business. Thanks to the U.S. Army, because I enlisted and then got my commission. So I got part of my command voice speaking skill from Uncle Sam. And then I got my training to speak about sexuality through San Francisco Sex Information. I didn't plan on doing this for profit. I didn't even know you could. I kind of got here accidentally. Yeah, kind of weird.
I think most people get where they are accidentally.
Oh, there's 2 people left and they're still sending hearts. Hey, thanks.
Do we know who they are? Or is
Forget if there's a way to check that.
Oh, we lost one. That says where we are.
I don't know who they are.
Okay.
Okay. Well, sometimes the signal drops out.
Okay. They might come back.
And you'll see it later. So, yeah. This is Periscope.
This is Periscope.
It's kind of cool.
It is very kind of cool.
Yeah.
This might be very dangerous. I may very much be upset with you later for showing this to me.
Aww. See, this is cool.
And at some point, yeah, one of us will have to get punished for that. And it'll probably be me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Hey, where are you scoping in? We say scoping.
Scoping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Where are you scoping in from? Maybe they'll tell us. I don't know.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Hey, so I'm Midori. This is Danny. And right now we're in Austin, but tomorrow we'll be flying back home. You back to Boston, me back to San Francisco. And just wanted to tell you a little about our friendship, a little of your history. And thanks for spending the night with us.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try and do this more.
We got to pop his Periscope cherry.
And for those of you that I don't know if you're gonna watch it again, whatever that said, Danny Dollars, whatever. Hey, reach out, say hi again. It's it's pretty simple. LeatherByDanny.com.
LeatherByDanny.
No, I'm sorry. LeatherByDanny@gmail.com is.
But your site is LeatherByDanny.
Yes.
D-A-N-N-Y.
Yes, D-A-N-N-Y.
Okay. All right. And me, I'm Planet Midori, all sorts of places. So, all right. Bye. And that's how we do